everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Laura Afonso, here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center, live for GoLocal Prov. And we have a very special guest in store for us today, Chef Eli Dunn. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Laura.
Of course. Now, you may know Chef Eli Dunn from Eli's Kitchen in Warren, but really he's putting Little Rhodey on the map because he is our recent Chopped champion, Food Network star, Chopped champion. We're so excited to have you here.
I'm honored to be here. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So before we get started talking about Chopped, which we all want to hear the juicy details about,
all right,
I want to hear about yourself, your history as a chef, and how you got really started up.
Sure. So I grew up in Seekonk, Mass. My mom owned a seafood restaurant for 30 years, Phoebe's Fish and Chips. So I literally was born in an apartment right above the restaurant, started working in the restaurant when I was 13. I'm 41 now, so you do the math. It's been 28 years. I've worked in restaurants all over the country, from corporate places right down to small family-run businesses, and yeah, it's been a trip.
Speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Yes. So you grew up in a seafood restaurant, so you are very well versed in all things coming from the sea.
Yep.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we literally, my mom had, she was doing, sea to fork, if you want to call it, if you will, in the 70s and 80s before it really was a thing. She sourced all of her seafood from local fishermen in the Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts area. So I really was brought up in that kind of environment and, learned to have an appreciation for fresh local seafood.
Right. We really are very lucky here in Rhode Island, Massachusetts.
Yeah, we're surrounded by water.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we have some of the best fresh fish in the country.
Yeah.
So, we really have that to our advantage.
Yeah.
Yes.
For sure.
So let's talk about Chopped. It is literally one of my favorite shows to watch. I binge watch it regularly. I've actually, since I found out that you won, I was like, gotta get caught up on all of my Chopped episodes. So if you have never seen Chopped, basically what the premise is, you get a mystery basket. You're going to make an appetizer in a short amount of time with mystery items.
Yep. So
you don't know what you're walking into, and it may be really obscure, strange ingredients that you've never heard of before or cooked with. So it kind of throws you for a loop, and you have to get right to it and nail the dish. Have to make something great out of something maybe a little weird.
Right. And that's not scripted. The actual cooking part is not scripted. The timer is real. The mystery boxes are made by somebody, and you have no idea what's in those mystery boxes until you open it on national TV and
surprise.
And surprise, exactly. And I actually in my competition had two of I think the top 10 most difficult ingredients to work with throughout the competition in durian fruit, which is in the top 3 I think, and pig's ears.
Yeah.
So I really had to, I'd run the gauntlet of difficult ingredients to cook with. But I also got quahogs, which was manna from the gods. So,
I know.
Yeah.
So you were blessed. Quahog clams. We all know Rhode Island's classic staple. Might as well be the state animal.
Yeah.
I guess you can. It is a living
Mascot.
thing. Mascot is the quahog clam.
Yeah.
And so you must have opened that. What was your reaction when you saw quahog sitting in your basket?
Well, it's funny because I had to do a couple takes because my first reaction was disbelief because I thought who do I know here at the studio? It was what an icebreaker for me. I really. Obviously I had a lot of nerves, and to get quahogs, which the driveway at my mom's restaurant is literally paved with quahog shells.
So you've been walking on them for a
the
long
waitresses
time.
at Phoebe's smoked cigarettes and used quahogs for ashtrays. It was I grew up with quahogs, so it was what an icebreaker and what a great way to start the competition. And I think really that first round won me the competition because it was so solid.
Yes. So let's talk about your judges.
Okay.
So we have celebrity chefs judging the competition. We have Martha Stewart. We have Marcus Samuelson. We have Monique. So that must have been really incredible to be standing in front of these really amazing chefs. Were you a little starstruck by any of them? What were your thoughts?
I really wasn't starstruck. I think I was nervous, but you can ask my wife. I just am. I'm really a cool cucumber. I'm calm under pressure in most situations. I really. I think that they wanted me to be a little more starstruck than I was,
Oh my God, Martha.
But I was obviously elated to to have Martha Stewart as one of the judges. I have several of her cookbooks. I have a ton of respect for her and the work she's done, and as a chef. And Marcus Samuelson and Monique are. I didn't know a ton about Manit, but had done some research, and her food is amazing, and I love Indian food. And Marcus Samuelsson, I read his memoir. I have a ton of respect for him.
Yeah.
So I think I really got the 3 judges that I would have wanted if I had the choice.
Because it's constantly a rotating schedule of judges. So
depending on
really
who's available,
you
never know who you're going to get.
And each of them have their own tastes and preferences. So so my next question is, did you do your research?
I did my research. I definitely went on the foodnetwork.com and read about each of the different judges. I Googled them, and I found out what they like and what they don't like. I did a lot of research on strategies and different things to do on set and in the kitchen. And but really, I have a lot of faith in my ability to cook for people, to sort of bridge that gap between me and the diner, and it's not really my ego or my whim. It's more about like, how can I be of service to you? So I think that I really paid attention to a lot of their criticisms in each of the judgings, and some of my competitors didn't,
right?
And it ended up being fatal for them in the end, and I tasted everything. I was humble. I said thank you so much, and they edited a lot of that out, but I was really I learned a lot from them, and I think that they could tell, and I think that they liked that. I also think that gave me an advantage because I was really open and teachable in the process.
Absolutely. So it's all your personality kind of peeks through in that judging decision as well.
Right.
Yes. So my next question is, you don't know the ingredients that you're going to open up in that basket, but did you practice with any weird things, or did your friends and family say, okay, I want you to make me a breakfast using anchovies and some other weird stuff?
No, and I know that I've read that was a common strategy for people to have chop parties and things like that. At Eli's, the way that we do expanded specials every single day. In addition to our regular menu, and the way that we do our specials list is we put together what we call a to-use list, where we walk into the walk-in and all the refrigerators in the restaurant and in the pantry and see what we have, what's available, and we literally, like kamikaze style, come up with a specials list in an hour. Not 20 minutes, but in a short amount of time. And so I really had a lot of faith. And I've also worked in so many different kinds of restaurants and worked with so many different types of ethnicities. I just really think that it was like my experience is tailor-made for the chopped competition. So I didn't want to psych myself out or I just wanted to trust my, the experience that I had already had and my talent and my abilities without sort of overthinking it.
Right. Definitely. Well, it worked in your advantage.
Thank you.
In that regard.
It did.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the dishes that you ended up making.
Sure.
So you had your quahog clams, and you made a Rhode Island clam chowder.
Rhode Island style clear clam chowder. Yep.
Now let's go over this really quick because we all know creamy clam chowder, white, thick, hearty, and delicious.
Right.
Clear clam chowder is a Rhode Island specialty. So can you tell me a little bit about what goes into it?
Right. So really the only difference is a New England style clam chowder is made with cream, and a Rhode Island style clam chowder is made with clam stock or clam juice. I mean, this is literally just 100% clam juice, nothing else. So, but otherwise, it's traditional ingredients: butter, bacon, potatoes, onions, flour. I mean, really basic, really simple.
Yeah.
But it's the amount of clams and the clam broth or the clam stock that really gives it that punchy, clammy, delicious flavor.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you made a Rhode Island clam chowder. You wowed the judges. You had those quahog clams.
Yep.
And you were working with some non-traditional items like tea eggs
Yep.
and chicken fat. So you're able to kind of substitute, instead of potatoes, we'll use the tea egg.
Yep.
And get creative, but you really impress them.
Yeah, well, and I mean, Martha, I think New England is close to her heart. I think she grew up in Connecticut.
Yes.
So I knew that chowder was going to work.
Yeah.
And so, I knew I was going to do chowder when I saw the quahogs. I didn't know what I was going to do with the tea eggs until about halfway through the process, and I actually realized that I had forgot potatoes. So I was panicking, and I realized I'm just going to use the tea eggs in place of the potatoes because I really don't. And the tea eggs actually had almost like a fennel kind of spice type flavor, which really works with seafood. So it made sense in my mind, and I knew right away I was going to use the chicken schmaltz in place of butter.
Right.
And the rest of the ingredients were in the pantry. So it was, and the yu choy I just basically blanched, chopped up, and put in there as just an additional vegetable in place of celery or whatever.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And then for your second course, you ended up lucking out with more seafood.
Yeah, Yeah, I got Arctic char, which, you know, I've actually never cooked Arctic char before, but I had cooked salmon, and, you know, I thought in the competition Arctic char was going to cook just like salmon. What I didn't realize is that Arctic char is a little bit more lean than salmon.
Okay.
So I did a baked presentation, and actually the judges didn't love the Arctic char. I'm grateful that the way that they edited it, it made it seem like they loved it.
They were all very pleased.
They had some criticisms that they didn't show on TV, and you know, and they were right. You know, Marcus Samuelsson, who is you know, probably one of the best seafood chefs in the world, said it was dry, and that killed me.
Oh,
I was like, I'm going home. I mean, really, that's what I thought. But you know, they liked it. I pickled Martha's rhubarb,
yes.
which, you know, I think
she liked that. Yeah,
she did like that. They
From
appreciated that.
Garden.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. So I think that even though my dish wasn't like far and away better than the other contestants' dishes in the second round, I think the fact that I used her rhubarb in a creative way that highlighted the rhubarb, I think got me to the final round. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Now you were mentioning that you had some pretty difficult ingredients to work with.
Yeah.
So you had durian, you had pig's ear. Pig's ear is a very difficult ingredient to cook, especially in such a short time frame.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, it's very like chewy and has a lot of cartilage,
right.
and you've got to get it nice and crispy and to avoid that really chewy texture.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you do to your pig's ears?
So I blanched them, which, I mean, I really had no idea, you know, and I have a lot of experience cooking seafood, and I have a lot of experience with vegetarian food, and you know, a fair amount of experience cooking some meat stuff, but I'm not like a meat guy. Like, I don't have any butchery experience. Like, that's not really my thing. So I really didn't know what to do with pig's ears. You know, I'd never eaten them before. So I figure I'm going to blanch them, and then dry them, and then I'm going to deep fry them for a long time, and hopefully they get crispy. And they weren't. None of it, but like, you know, what helped? What helped me out is nobody did the right thing with the pig's ears.
It's just very difficult.
And of course, in retrospect, I'm like, oh, I could have used it as a stock or whatever to flavor, you know. But of hindsight 2020.
Pressure.
So, yeah, exactly.
And then you also had durian. So can you explain what durian is? Because it looks like this crazy, like alien egg. Things are humongous. Yeah. And they're just really funky.
Yeah. So durian is a Southeast Asian fruit that I guess is like a really environmentally sustainable fruit. I mean, there's a whole bunch of information about it that I had done a little research, but it's notorious for being off-putting in terms of the smell.
It's a very stinky fruit.
Yeah, it's a stinky fruit, and that is true. So when I cut into this, first of all, the durian fruit looked like, you know, one of, you know, a Game of Thrones dinosaur egg or dragon egg. I mean, it was just this enormous spiky fruit. And when I cut into it, you know, the first thing I smelled was this sort of like foot odor, funk, like just sour, like raw. I mean, it was raw. It was a really funky smell.
You're like, I have to make this into a dessert that tastes good? Oh, boy.
Yeah. And what was great is that I didn't know what the judges were saying at the time, but they were saying, you know, really with durian, what you want to do is, you know, mask it by blending it into something like an ice cream, which is exactly what I did.
You're like, perfect.
Yeah. And I knew I was going to make ice cream because it's something we do at Eli's. That's something I'm really confident in. It's infinitely adjustable and customizable in my experience. So I made a coconut milk and Mexican chocolate ice cream, which was dairy-free, which was vegan.
Perfect.
I put bacon on top, but
hey.
But yeah, and I just blended some of the raw durian right into it, and I tasted it. Of course, I tasted it, and actually, my competitor at the end didn't taste he made a durian foam, and he didn't taste it.
It was very
and they were like
and
durian forward, whereas I masked the durian in the chocolate ice cream. So
that's where the key element was.
Yeah,
definitely.
Exactly.
Yes. So a big part of Chopped is that you are under the pressure of a timer.
Yep.
So the appetizer round is what, 20 minutes?
Appetizer round is 20 minutes. The entree round is 30 minutes, and the dessert round is 30 minutes.
So that's a very short amount of time to make a full meal and make it taste good and be creative using ingredients you've never even seen or heard of before.
Yeah.
Yes. So a lot of chefs may crack like an egg under the pressure. You seemed, like you said, calm and cool as a cucumber. What is the comparison between like a slammed night at the restaurant, you're behind the line, and being filmed on Chopped?
You know, in a way, Laura, you know, and I'm actually just thinking about this right now, but in a way it was almost easier because in the Chopped kitchen, all I really had to think about was cooking. But when I'm at Eli's, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, you know, I'm like a relationship counselor. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like you wear so many different hats when you're a restaurant. Yeah, exactly. And you're constantly, your attention is constantly being divided and pulled in a million different directions. So, I'm not often able to just focus on being creative and having fun and cooking. So in that sense, it was I don't want to say easier, but it didn't feel all that foreign to me. I'm comfortable in high pressure situations like that. I love, my adrenaline gets going. I love those kinds of, I cooked brunch at Julian's. I've cooked brunch in a bunch of different places.
Volume.
We do brunch. I mean, and it's just like tournament Burnham, high volume, and I live for that, I love that moment. So I think that wasn't scary or nerve-wracking at all. The judging and everything else was something different. But the cooking part, I was surprisingly calm and comfortable.
You were in your element.
I was in the zone.
This is what you do, and that's why you won.
It was the definition of the zone, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you're behind the line at the restaurant. Tell me a little bit about Eli's Kitchen, what kind of food you're serving, and what you're best known for.
Sure. So we do lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. One Yelper described us as comfort food with global influences, which I really liked.
I like that, yeah.
I've always really had a hard time telling people what Eli's Kitchen is. My whole thing is, what do you like? I'm going to cook it for you kind of thing, that's always been my philosophy as a chef. I really believe in cooking as an act of service, and, I'm not really trying to impress critics or other chefs. I really just want to, make that connection with our patrons and our guests.
Definitely.
And so the menu has changed and evolved over the years based on kind of the people that come through the doors, but we kind of do a little bit of everything. We make all of our own bread in-house. We make everything from scratch. We make our own gluten-free bread.
That's great.
So we have vegan options. My goal was, if you love steak and your partner, wants a vegan curry, a Thai curry, you can come to Eli's and you can both have something delicious. It's not just a throwaway vegetarian dish like a salad or something like that,
Absolutely.
So
you're able to reach a really great broad audience. So instead of saying we're going to pigeon ourselves into only going out for Indian because we want that curry, or we want to go out for vegetarian, or we want to go out for a steak, because you have all of that as an option on your menu.
And it's risky, I mean, we spread ourselves thin, but I think I've been blessed to have hired really talented chefs and surrounded myself by some really amazing cooks, and so each cook who's cooked at Eli's with me has sort of brought their influence to the table, and there are dishes on the menu that aren't my dishes. I mean, I get the credit, which is great, but I always tell people no, that wasn't my dish. That was so and so, and so it's really been a sort of culinary melting pot of different influences.
Absolutely.
So we're able to we make our own Thai curry paste. We make falafel the traditional way with a meat grinder, and fresh chickpeas. So. We don't do anything without really diving into the history, and I'm completely obsessed with having food taste and match the central expectation of a memory or some food experience that I have in my mind. I have a very strong sensory connection to food, and so I can taste things in my mind. And so, if I had an amazing falafel in New York at a falafel shack, when I make falafel, I want it to taste like that.
Exactly. So
and I remember it, and I'm obsessed with making it perfect. That's I'm driven. Yeah.
Absolutely. Exactly. Well, that shines through in your food, and that's why it's so great.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, what do you feel? How do you feel that winning Chopped influences the restaurant?
Well, I mean, in the most basic sense, I mean, we just had two of the busiest weeks I've ever had since we opened the restaurant.
I can see why.
And it's been a whirlwind. It's been super fun to be like a mini celebrity for a little while, which is kind of cool. But I think what's even cooler is the sort of provincial roadie pride that has on Sunday.
Serious.
On Sunday, our local state representative, Kenneth Marshall, walked in the middle of Sunday brunch and said, on behalf of the state of Rhode Island, I want to present you with this resolution that I drafted. And the resolution is whereas Eli Dunn competed on Chopped, whereas, and it's this whole thing with the Rhode Island, seal on it. I mean, and I was almost crying,
That's
in front of the entire restaurant. And I mean, it was such a touching and cool moment. And that is really what has been so cool about this process is how many people sort of have my back and are supportive. I think that's a lot of fun. I'm super proud to represent Rhode Island on the national stage.
Absolutely. Rhode Island is a small state, but we have to support and build each other up.
Yeah.
And of course, we're going to be cheering you on every step of the way.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Chef Dunn, thank you so much for joining me today. Absolutely.
It's been a blast.
Definitely go ahead and check out Eli's episode on Chopped. I believe it's season 40.
Season 40.
Episode 3.
No. Well, usually what I tell people to do is go on YouTube and Google November 27th Chopped, and the name of the episode is Tea, Eggs, and Sympathy. I can never remember which number episode it is, but if you Google Tea, Eggs, and Sympathy, you will see my smiling face.
Absolutely. Go and check out his win. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you, Laura.
Of course, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with our next guest. Thanks so much for tuning back in. We just wrapped up with Chopped champion, Chef Eli Dunn, but we are back with our second guest, Chef Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank
I appreciate you
Thanks
joining,
for
coming in.
us.
Definitely. So, co-owner, chef at Cleos, right here in downtown Providence.
Yes.
Amazing Greek cuisine, and I just think it's fabulous.
Thank you.
You know, in a city that we have so many Italian, beautiful Italian restaurants, really putting Greece on the map and serving authentic, wonderful dishes.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So before we start talking about this yummy dish that's in front of me that I can't stop staring at, and the restaurant, I want to hear about yourself and your background and how you came to get involved in the restaurant world.
Yeah, so I worked in the restaurant business pretty much my whole life since I was a kid, 14 years old, bussing tables, hosting, waiting tables, bartending. Working in kitchens, pastry, you name it.
So you served every shoes in the restaurant.
Yes, I did it all. And after I had my daughter, I was doing some catering, just kind of on my own, staying at home with my daughter, Rosalina. And then my husband and I decided to open up a restaurant.
Wow.
And yeah, so we opened our first restaurant, Rosalina, which is also downtown.
Yep.
Italian food, like you said, so much Italian food in Providence and Rhode Island. And then we decided, my husband was born in Greece, and since we've been together, I've learned how to make Greek food, and we wanted to showcase that and bring a taste of where he comes from and his family comes from to Providence.
That's amazing. So did you learn Greek cooking from him? He kind of influenced you and taught you the techniques and the different flavors?
No, so not really.
No, okay.
He taught me a few things, but most of it were things that he told me his mother would make for him, and then I researched it and taught myself.
How to make it traditionally.
Yeah,
wow.
and we go to Greece every summer.
Okay.
So when we go to Greece, that's all that I do is go and eat
tasting
8 times a day.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't blame you. Even as a person who is not a chef or a restaurant owner, I would want to eat 8 times a day if I was in Greece too, for sure. But I'm sure you're able to kind of get different flavors, profiles, and ideas of, oh, how do I make this? What ingredients are in this to make it the restaurant?
Yeah,
Definitely.
and I also wanted to bring that Rhode Island spin, same like we did with Rosalina, where we do things that are maybe traditional Greek, but we make them a little bit more familiar to people. So there are a lot of traditional things, and then some not as traditional things that are incorporating Greek flavors, but bringing them to, say, a pasta dish that maybe would be more Italian.
Okay, interesting. So, I mean, I feel like there's pretty standard flavors that go throughout a Greek menu. Do we find a lot of lemon? What kind of flavors can we see across the board?
Yeah, so biggest olive oil.
Olive oil, that's huge.
Olive oil is huge. That is their primary fat that they would cook with in Greece, and they truly have, I think, the best olive oil in the world.
Incredible.
And this is our family's olive oil, my husband's family. Yep.
Okay, so is there an olive oil farm in Greece that you're able to source it from?
Yeah, so the olive trees are in Kalamata, which is where my husband was born, and some of the trees like his dad planted himself.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so it's a family farm, so his cousin now operates it and ships us olive oil for both restaurants to use in the restaurant for our cooking, as well as he bottles it separately for us to sell at both restaurants.
Okay, so this is available for purchase at the restaurant.
Yes.
Okay, so you can really find tastes of Greece, and it's well connected to you. You find it in the cooking, you can have it at home.
Yeah, so we have the bulbous olive oil, and we also have our own olives that also are grown in Kalamata, and our family, you know, cures these and jars them up and ships them to us here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So when you go into the restaurant and you taste it and you're like, this is the best olive I've ever had, you can purchase a jar of it and take it home too.
Yes.
Absolutely. So tell me a little bit about Cleo's. When did you open? I think that the build out is absolutely beautiful. It's modern, it's light and airy. It just makes me feel like this is what it would be like to eat at a restaurant in Greece.
Thank you. Yeah, we wanted to work with the design elements in the building, being in, Providence, but we also wanted to bring that Greek flair.
Definitely.
Which, thank you.
I think you did a very good job of that.
We worked with Libby Slater, who's amazing.
Yeah.
And we worked with her at Rosalina. She's amazing. Providence Painted Signs. We worked with them to do signage as well as all of our artwork, original artwork.
That's great.
That we have in the restaurant.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
And then the food, that's the next layer to it.
Yeah, so like we were talking about the olive oil.
Yes.
Like you said, lemon, a lot of oregano. We also do a lot of seafood. That's why here we have the octopus ragu.
Ooh, okay, so tell me about this. Octopus ragu. I absolutely adore octopus. It's amazing.
So do I. Yeah, and I love this because at the restaurant we have the grilled octopus on the menu, which is the traditional, what you get in Greece. If you go out and order octopus, you're going to get, a slow, roasted octopus that they'll char up really nice on the grill.
It gets that really great texture because we know octopus has that snap to it, so you have to cook it just right.
Yeah, you have to cook it for a while. This is really nice because we're able to braise it. We braise this for over 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to make the ragu, we kind of put a little, like I said, a Italian spin on it, some saffron, some citrus, some nice dill as the garnish, tomato, some nice Greek wine, which we also have our Greek wine here. And yeah, so we were going to try that on our new menu starting next week.
So next week, this will be available?
Next week, yeah. We're going to offer it this weekend as a special, though.
Okay, so people will get their first taste of it. I just got the first taste of it. It's really good. So you can get a taste of it this weekend as a special, and then it'll be continuously available next week.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love the heat at the end, just a little bit, just enough.
Little heat, yeah, that's the Aleppo red pepper that I use because I'm trying to start to incorporate also some Middle Eastern ingredients, some things from Turkey and Syria and Lebanese cooking as well.
Lots of spices and flavor that are able to kind of, really beef up the dish.
Yeah.
Definitely. So what kind of wines did you bring with you today?
So I brought 2 Greek wines, which we have a large selection of Greek wine. Our wine list is predominantly with Greek wines. So this is nice and heavy, Casino Mavro, which is kind of hard to say, but it's almost like casino.
Casino. Okay, I got that part. And what's next?
Mavro.
Mavro.
Yeah.
Casino Mavro.
So this is a big wine. Gonna be more for somebody that maybe enjoys a big, California Cabernet or even a Barolo, like a bigger, very dry wine, which I thought would go nice because the ragu has a nice, rich feel to it, which is the best part of braising that octopus for 3 hours because you get all that richness to come out of the octopus.
Definitely.
And then for somebody that maybe preferred to go a little lighter and wanted a white wine, I brought along the Salto, which is a Moscofilero, but it has, in my opinion, kind of like a nice saline kind of quality to it, which is nice with the fish because it kind of, that mineral can kind of play nice with the octopus.
I'd love to taste them both.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
I think we should start,
what do
start
you
with
recommend?
the white.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go with this. We'll both have a little sip. This is nice.
Beautiful. Now, I would typically go with white for seafood, but I am really interested to have a taste of it with the red.
Yeah, well, and I think because this ragu, I went a little heavy with the tomato, with the red wine for winter.
Yeah.
So I think that this, that dish is big enough that it can stand up to the red.
Absolutely. This is great.
Yeah.
Well, cheers.
Nice.
That's beautiful. Now, what kind of desserts are you serving on the menu?
So desserts, we're also going to be changing that up a little. When we opened, we wanted to, really keep the desserts simple.
Yeah.
So we have baklava. We do our own 40-layer traditional baklava. It's nice. It's definitely, I think, a little more spiced than some of the versions that you might get that tend to be a little bit more sweet. Probably because I'm not as much of a sweets. I like that kind of sweet and savory.
Sweet savory versus just that super sugary sweet.
Yeah. So the baklava is really lovely. We also do lukumatas, which are traditional Greek donuts.
Ooh,
kind of like little baby doughboys. We toss them with honey, another big Greek flavor.
Yes.
Honey, walnut, cinnamon. And then we do different specialty desserts. We'll do bugatsa, but we try to do different flavored baklavas or bugatsa, different like Greek pastries, but we mix them up, do them with ice cream, kind of make like a baklava sundae.
Never had ice cream with baklava. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, baklava sundae. And now we're looking at, with our new menu, doing a lukumata bar.
Okay, so I don't know what that is, so I need to hear about it.
Yeah, so the lukumatas are, like I said, the donuts. Right now we just do them in the traditional way with the honey, walnut, cinnamon. Now we want to offer it in a variety of ways. So do like a cookies and cream with, crushed Oreos and cookies and cream ice cream. Do more of an Italian style with Nutella, strawberries, banana. That's everyone's favorite.
Make me melt.
Yeah, do some different ones and then offer kind of like a build your own option where we give you all the different dessert toppings that we have and you can make your own really fun.
Customize it. Say I want
dessert.
Oreo and Nutella. Get really crazy. Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, so that'll be also starting next week.
Awesome. So next week is when we're starting to roll out the new menu, revamping everything.
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you guys have any plans for the holiday season?
Holiday season, we're already underway with doing a lot of holiday parties.
Definitely.
There's still time, to book, especially a lot of people like to do their work parties after the holidays, which is a nice option.
Between Christmas and New Year, that week.
Yeah, so we can do luncheons, we can do dinners, private parties, really, you name it. We can do it catering, in office.
Great. So you can go off-site and go into the office and bring your amazing Greek food.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and we have really, I think, great Christmas decorations if you did want to do it on premise that are, like you said, with the going along with the decor.
Yeah.
Very nautical and all blue and white, and it's really pretty.
That's amazing. Awesome. So there is still time to book holiday parties.
Yeah.
Definitely have a really great location right in the heart of downtown. You're on Westminster Street, one of my favorite streets in the whole city with the twinkle lights.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, so it's just gorgeous. And to have the food and the wine to match.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for
Can't wait to
having
kinda
us.
dig into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
absolutely.
join you. We can have a little wine
Let's
and
sip.
a little pasta.
Absolutely. And of course, we would like to remind the olive oil and the olives available in store.
And that's a great stocking stuffer.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
It's a perfect size.
That is.
I would love a little bit of olive oil in my stocking.
Yeah. Well, this is your Christmas present, so that's for you.
Thank you. I love it. Well, don't go anywhere because we have our third and final guest coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning back in. We are live here at the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center with our third and final guest. Aura, thank you so much for joining me today
you for
of
having
Aura's
me.
Chocolates.
you.
Professional chocolatier.
Yes.
I can't imagine a better profession. Just being around chocolate all day long. It sounds like
Yes,
a dream.
It is.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I can't complain.
No,
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
you've got a great setup.
you.
So tell me about yourself, Aura's Chocolates. I've seen you all over Providence, and I think that you have just grown so amazingly in the past year or so.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's within a year. I never thought that I was going to be here and having 30 flavors and having my own kitchen. I definitely feel the love.
Yes.
Yeah, Rhode Island
Providence,
and
Rhode Island, we
Providence.
love you. Yeah,
thank
we
you
love
so
your
much.
chocolates.
Thank you,
Definitely.
and I love Providence, and I feel like I can't leave now.
Yeah. No, you're stuck.
Yes, I
We've
am.
claimed you. You are ours.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yes.
Now, I visited your shop on Aleppo Street, so that's where you're doing all of your cooking. You have the chocolates available for sale there.
Yes.
And I really want to hear about the process of making chocolate. Your chocolates are just so flavorful, and, I think about, just kind of whatever chocolate you find at the drugstore. And this is just in a whole other ball game. It's on another
Exactly.
level. So
Exactly.
what goes into making gourmet chocolates like these?
Well, what I use is tempered chocolate.
Okay.
It is a chemistry.
Yes,
it
really
is. It
is.
is all about
It's a science.
temperature. Exactly. Regular grocery store chocolate
Yeah.
is not tempered. Usually, it doesn't have cacao butter. It is. oils and like fillings and all
Yeah.
sorts of things that make it cheap. I
Yeah.
mean, it's good. I'm not gonna lie, I've eaten it.
Sugar tastes good, but
Exactly.
if you can have an elevated, something really,
Exactly.
really incredible.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I
so
want.
I bring my chocolate from Venezuela. It's award-winning. It's the best cacao in the world.
Wow.
Maybe I'm biased because I'm from there.
You know what? I'll go with it. If you
Yeah.
say so and it tastes like
Thank you.
this, I'll back it up.
Thank you. Yeah, so I have a lot of fun. I have my a base white milk and dark chocolate, and then I try to mix it with fun stuff.
Yeah. Now your add-ins, like what you said, you mix in fun things.
Yes.
They're really, really cool. Things that I would have never imagined to pair with chocolate that end up tasting so, so good. Like you put blueberries and
Yes.
tea and like all these different really, really cool ingredients. So what makes you think of these combinations and where do you get the ingredients from?
Well, I love to, when I find an ingredient that I find fascinating, for example, with the blueberry and the
Yes.
sweet pea lime, I'm like, what is this butterfly sweet pea flour?
Yeah.
How does it taste? And I realized that it kind of gives a nutty flavor to the chocolate, even though it has not nuts.
Yeah.
So it is interesting. I really find that just like having one ingredient being the main inspiration,
Yes.
it just like carries it with. I'm not sure if I'm making sense, but
Of course that makes sense. So you tasted the pea flour and this is really interesting. It adds such great flavor to the
like,
chocolate.
what can I do to make it work?
Right, and then you
Exactly.
think of what complements it, and then we have the blueberry and the lime, and it really all wraps up so nicely. And like I said, something non-traditional that you would have necessarily, I would have never put those three ingredients together, especially in chocolate. But when you taste it, it's like, oh my God, this is incredible.
Thank you so
Yes,
much.
it's really, really great.
Thank you.
Yes. So you temper the chocolate,
Yes.
and then you have all these different shapes and things that you can do with it. You know, I know that you'll do a little gold accents on the chocolate. Now, I've seen different custom things that you do. How do you make, you know, a high heel chocolate or a lipstick chocolate? Because you can
Yes.
really make so many different things.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
come up with these? How do you make them? I think it's so cool.
Perfect. So yes, the wonder about chocolate is that if you find a mold, it will just cast whatever you want. For example, since we're talking about the heels.
Okay, the high heel,
so,
yes.
So this is what a chocolate mold looks like. Plastic. Sometimes it has a shiny. If it has a shiny texture, the chocolate comes out shiny.
Oh,
If
cool.
it's like rough, then it doesn't come out. So once I temper the chocolate, all the right temperatures, and you pour it, and then you just have to pretty much like move it around
Yes.
before it
So
sets.
it coats the whole thing.
Exactly, and you have to be quick.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes too much. When it's beautiful, and then you just remove the things, and if the temper is correct, it comes.
Comes right out.
Exactly, comes right
Like
out.
magic.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yes. It's amazing.
Yeah. If the temper is not right, then it gets stuck in the mold,
Okay.
and then you're like,
And you have to waste it, but not waste it, but eat it, and you know.
or remelt it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So that's
Yeah.
good to know. It doesn't have to go to waste. You just
Exactly.
take it, you remelt it, and do
Yes.
it all again.
That's what I love chocolate. There's no waste.
Yes.
Unless people don't eat it.
And who would not eat it? Oh my gosh.
Exactly. Yeah. If this house, for example, if it doesn't sell, then I can remelt it and
Yeah,
just
that's
make
great.
a Valentine's Day heart.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
yes.
So let's walk through some of the things that you have here in this basket. I want to start with this because I just can't wait to try it.
Oh my God.
This looks like it'll be my favorite.
Yes, so that is honeycomb toffee.
Okay.
It's very, very simple ingredients. It melts in your mouth. And when I was doing the product development,
Yes.
I gained 3 pounds.
Oh my gosh, I think I would too.
try
You
it.
have
Yeah.
well, you have to taste everything that you're working with.
Yes, yeah.
Of course, make sure that the ingredients are right. That everything is, you know, like you said, it's a science. Everything has to be right levels.
Correct.
So maybe a little taste of this, taste of that.
Yeah.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
So yeah, and it has it's very sweet. So I added cacao nibs
Okay.
and Himalayan salt. So the salt kind
so
of brings it
salty, sweet, bitter, like all.
exactly.
Oh,
So
that
when you
sounds
buy it,
so
it's like
good.
it's a lot of flavor and texture in there.
Yes.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of other really great goodies in here.
Yes.
Now, what's in this little box?
Okay, so that's the bonbons.
The bonbons.
I love them. They are.
Oh, and this is such
Yeah,
a nice packaging
thank
too.
you. So the shelf life of this, I like to make them with honey and peanut butter because they have a longer shelf life
Yeah.
than a truffle or ganache.
And they're beautifully
Thank you.
colored with gold.
Yes, so I
Yes.
use cacao butter to decorate them.
Wow.
Yeah, and I also brought for you like other Christmas flavors.
Yes.
This is like
Peppermint.
my input of peppermint bark.
Nice.
Yes.
It's a little round.
Exactly. It's easier to share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to share. If you want to share.
Exactly.
Only if you have to.
Exactly. And I also love I was a graphic designer before.
Oh, wow.
Before I started playing with chocolate.
Okay, so you can get really creative. This one says R.I. Love that.
Thank you.
Yes.
This is Rhode Island. This is like a little deer and wreath. All these little details,
Yeah.
hand painted. I love to make them,
Right.
and they make beautiful gifts as well.
Absolutely. So you can have these custom made.
Correct.
So if you're getting married, you want to have your initials written on beautiful gold. That's really special because you can make it your own.
Exactly. Yes, I really love custom things because it gives my creative mind, a challenge.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you something different to play with. And so it's not always the same chocolate. It's always something new.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what kind of chocolate bars do we have here? These are big chocolate bars. So I
Yes.
guess that if you're going to share, this is a pretty good size.
Exactly.
Yes, definitely.
And that's my brand new image, actually.
Oh, very nice.
Yes, I just changed my packaging to kind of, recreate what's inside.
Yeah.
Yes, and now there has a little peekaboo window, so you can actually
So you
see
can
that
see
you're
it.
getting your peppermint.
Yes. Now you put things right on top, nice and very full toppings in there.
Yeah.
So what other kind of flavors? This one's a peppermint.
Yes.
What other kind of flavors for your chocolate bars are you making?
I have around 30 flavors by now.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. Of course, the most popular is sea salt, a spicy mocha. It's a hit or miss, but a lot of people when they try it is like, I need this in my life.
Yeah, absolutely. It's spicy. I've had your spicy mocha, and it does have that a little bit of heat at the end, but it just goes so well with the chocolate. So if you can handle heat, then this
Exactly.
one's really good. If you're really, really wimpy when it comes to spicy, then maybe sit it out and have
Exactly.
something else. But
Yeah,
it
thank
is
you.
such a nice flavor combination. Yes,
Yes, and
definitely.
I love to pair it with beer or whiskey, and
Okay.
I'm always suggesting this, like, and if you don't drink, you can just drink your coffee. And
Yeah, have a little coffee, but whiskey really goes well. Add another
Chocolate
component
is
to
such
it.
a nice.
Yeah.
I also have the honey lemon lavender. It is.
Oh my God.
It was like my second recipe, but people love it, and I keep. Sometimes I'm like, well, maybe I should retire it. No.
No. So honey lemon lavender.
Yes,
Is
with-
that with white chocolate or?
Yes.
Okay.
It's white chocolate, and it has a local lavender.
Wow.
Yes,
Okay,
from Barrington.
Oh, beautiful.
Yes.
That's so nice.
Yes, Waterway Farm, and local honey and all this fun stuff. I've also started my matcha bars. Yes, with leafy green. And
Oh, that's great.
Yes,
So
yes.
collaboration between businesses.
Exactly.
That's great.
I'm loving this whole collaborating with local businesses.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
mostly when it's a good product like the matcha, I was like,
Absolutely.
oh my God, yes.
Yeah, that's just going to really enhance both of your products.
Exactly,
Really have
exactly.
great flavor coming through.
Exactly. And I love that. It really shows when a nice combination.
Yes. So
Um,
you've got a lot of 30 flavors, lots to choose from.
exactly.
Yes,
Yes.
absolutely.
Yes. There's
Now-
something for everybody.
Yes. So we have some really cute little ornaments here. So for the holidays, you're looking for stocking stuffers. You have customizable chocolates. We've got chocolate bars. These are just so cute. I really like
you.
these. I would imagine waking up on Christmas morning and maybe mom and dad put these on the tree so that when you
Yes.
wake up, you're opening presents. You can crack one of these open and have some chocolate while you're at it.
Yes.
And you have a
Yes.
little chocolate gingerbread house.
Yes,
This is just so cute.
I had a lot of fun. It's a gluten-free house.
Oh, gluten-free house.
Yeah, chocolate.
That's wonderful.
Actually, most of my products are gluten-free.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Yes.
Excellent. So then we know that Kate can have some of these too.
Exactly. Yeah, I just thought.
Yeah, good. Awesome.
Yes. So I'm going to be this Sunday in the New England Gluten-Free Fest
New England Gluten-Free Fest. Now, where is that being held?
at Crown Plaza.
Oh, great.
I think it's 10 to 2, 10 to 3.
And
Don't believe me.
I'm sorry, the date again?
Sunday the 16th.
Sunday the 16th.
Yes.
Okay, so gluten-free. So you'll have the gluten-free chocolates there.
Yes.
All of our friends who have celiac, or even if you don't, I
Exactly.
like things that are gluten-free because they still
Exactly.
taste pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, check it out, see what other options are out there. Really explore the different gluten-free of the island.
Exactly.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
great. So the holidays are coming up, great stocking stuffers, but
Yes.
where can we find your product if we're not coming to Aleppo Street to the storefront? I know that you have your products distributed throughout the state.
Yes.
So where can we find your products to grab a bar, to grab a cute little
Fabulous.
ornament or a little bag of toffee?
Fabulous. Well, my ornaments and the houses are mostly online.
Okay, that's good to know too.
Yes.
Okay.
But I am here right in downtown and Craftland. They have a lot of
good.
bars,
Yeah.
stock culinary goods at Hope
Love
Street.
stock.
Yes, me too. Jen is amazing. Books on the Square, Black Bear, and Grapes and Grains in Barrington.
I saw you at Hometown Poke.
Yes, that's they're brand new.
You know, they're right up by the
Yes.
register, and it's just so tempting because I'll be ordering, you know, a poke bowl, and I'll see the matcha candy bar, and I'm like, oh, that would go so well as a little dessert.
Exactly.
So, you know,
Yeah.
product placement, perfect, because it's gonna get me.
Thank you. Thank
Yes.
you. Yes. Yeah. I met the Poke ladies at Hope and Main. We did our boot camp and cohort
Okay.
together.
Yeah.
So it's lovely that we kept the contact, and I love going there to eat poke.
Yeah, me too.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I deliver the chocolate and come back with poke, and it's
Yeah.
a win-win.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, Auda's chocolate, beautiful, you know, for any occasion, whether it's for a special event, for a holiday, or just because it's, you know, any day of the week and you want to have some chocolate. And you want to have that good quality, handmade, crafted chocolate. Yes, very special. So where can we find you on the internet or on social media? That way we can follow all the different things that you have coming up.
Awesome. Yes, if you want to purchase online, it's audaschocolatebar.com. And I am on Instagram and Facebook at Auda's Chocolate. Probably, maybe the bar will show you the spelling.
Yes, we'll have the spelling, so don't you worry
Fabulous.
about it.
Yeah, so I'm in there. I love my Instagram account. I update it more than anything else. So,
Yeah.
so yes.
Absolutely. So make sure you follow her on Instagram. Definitely check out her selection of chocolates and find out what stores that she's distributing throughout the state so you can grab a little bite for yourself.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
me
you.
today.
Thank you
I
for having
appreciate
me.
it. I'm gonna have to
course.
select which chocolate I'm gonna have because I can't have all of them.
Of course, of course.
Definitely. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in, and don't go anywhere because we have Kate Nagel coming up at 4 o'clock. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you.